You're watching Travers Visitors Channel.
Here's a look at this week's event calendar from the Travers Visitors Channel. The Fascinating Birds of Paradise exhibit continues at the Denos Museum on the campus of Northwestern Michigan College in Traverse City. The exhibit is open every day of the week until September the 2nd and has wonderful still and video photography and interactive games. If you're looking to experience the Northern Michigan wine country, why not try a tapas tour at Chateau Chantal on the Old Mission Peninsula just off of Center Road on Rue de Vin. Here you will get an extensive 2-hour tour of both the vineyard and winery. For more information, call 800-969-4009. Every Wednesday and Saturday from 7:30 to noon, it's the Sarah Hardy Farmers Market in downtown Traverse City, directly across from Clinch Park. Experience some of the finest produce, baked goods, flowers, and plants. For more information, visit downtowntc.com. This Thursday, you can enjoy an evening stroll in nearby Alden, which is right on gorgeous Torch Lake. You can stroll to live music and enjoy one of Northern Michigan's beautiful little towns from 7 to 9. For more information about Alden, go to visitalden.com. And this week is the big week of the Northwestern Michigan Fair, located just south of Traverse City at the Northwestern Michigan Fairgrounds. Tuesday is 4-H Day, Wednesday is Kids Day, and Friday is Demolition Day, featuring a demolition derby. Saturday is the Fair Queen pageant. And that's a look at some events in the Traverse City area from the Traverse Visitors Channel. Just south of Traverse City, about 15 minutes, at the northern edge of Wexford County, is the Southside Hideout, home to the Southside Festival Grounds, which is fast becoming the premier outdoor entertainment venue in northern Michigan.
For those of you that aren't familiar with Southside Festival Grounds, it's the brand new 8,000 capacity venue just 12 minutes south of Traverse City. If you want the real concert experience, you gotta come here.
This summer's lineup at the festival grounds ranges from country to heavy rock music. The Southside Hideout in Buckley is easy to find. Take M37 south of Traverse City for about 15 miles. For more information, visit their website at southsidehideout.com.
Birds of Paradise is an exhibition developed by the National Geographic Society and Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and it documents the expeditions in the island of New Guinea to study the birds of paradise. The birds of paradise are a very unique species of bird in that the males have developed this elaborate system of display and dance and courtship, along with colorful feathers and ornamentation that make them stand out, especially against their female counterparts, who are generally more plain looking and browns and blacks and that sort of thing. There are a lot of photographs, but there are also a lot of videos that capture the courtship displays. There's also several games you can play. You can build your own virtual bird of paradise, and you can also dance with the birds in front of a large screen, and you can be judged by the audience. You're going to hear a lot of things. There's a lot of sound in the exhibition. You're going to see a lot of colorful videos, a lot of humor, there's cartoons, a little bit of something for everyone. Oh man, one word to describe it. I'd say excitement.
What's coming up? Let's look ahead to special events in the area.
Well, the tour is an introduction to the history of the former Traverse City State Hospital. And we give a brief explanation about the nature of the building, why it was built, and what roles it served. And then we bring people through some areas that we're restoring and other areas that are yet to be restored, as well as the underground service tunnels.
Dr. Munson did not believe in restraining the patients unless it was absolutely necessary, so they kind of were fenced in, and they would come out into the courtyard when the other patients had already been inside.
This place was really built at the height of the Victorian era at great expense to create a beautiful environment and a well-appointed and well-furnished environment to care for the patients. Pretty cutting edge for the type of building it was, and the fact that it was built in little Traverse City, Michigan in the 1880s. A lot of people forget how advanced this facility was for its time. And of course, the building has changed over time. Even when it was operational, that the state stripped away some of the finer furnishings and things like that. But I think you still can gain an appreciation on the historic tour to get an idea of what the spaces were like, the abundance of light, and the views out to the historic grounds. Little nuggets of information a lot of people may not know.
Hello, Jimmy Johns?
Jimmy John's here.
What took you so long?
Jimmy John, freaky fast delivery.
I love a man in uniform.
Have you heard the latest buzz? It's a delicious craft libation called mead, the ancestor of all fermented drinks and the oldest adult beverage on Earth.
The oldest or most ancient fermented beverage on this planet anyway.
In ancient cultures, honey was combined with water and left to ferment with wild yeast. Natural pollens in the honey fed the yeast, which converted the sugars to alcohol. The earliest record of mead was discovered in northern China in 2000 BC and predates written history. Monasteries made mead as a byproduct of beekeeping. In the epic poem Beowulf, the Danish warriors drank mead. In the 1958 Kirk Douglas movie The Vikings, mead was the beverage of choice in the Great Hall. Today, mead ranges from 6 to 19% alcohol by volume and is fermented with a wide variety of natural ingredients, particularly fruit. The process of making mead is called mazing, with the equivalent of a brewmaster or winemaker called a mazer.
We do mostly star thistle meads because it's a Michigan product, and we use that base in melomels, which are meads made with a fruit added to it, We do make piment. A piment is mead with grape wine.
The mead styles themselves also have a unique set of names specific to the recipe of ingredients.
It takes a day to put the batch together and blend it all up, pitch the yeast. And then my product ferments out in about 4 weeks. I make 9 varieties. I have 8 of them available right now. They're all a combination of a metheglin and a malamel.
Our area meaderies not only use local honey, our famous cherries, grapes, berries, herbs, and spices to produce an eclectic spectrum of mead products. Acoustic Mead of nearby Lake Ann features a variety of tasty buzz.
Raspberry, cranberry, as well as jasmine tea. Now that's blueberry pomegranate, probably the smoothest or mellowest one that I make. That one's strawberry with rosehip tea. It's just really nice and refreshing. They're all very refreshing, but that one's so spring and summer like liquid garden.
Well, St. Ambrose is a spin-off of our sister company, Sleeping Bear Farms, where we produce honeys in Michigan and in Florida. We use those honeys to make our mead products. We have a couple different straight meads that are both our Star Thistle and Tupelo, aged and fermented in steel vessels. Our Razzmatazz is a gold medal winning raspberry that everyone's extremely fond of. No one gets by in this region without making a good cherry, since we have the best cherries in the world.
We'd love you to come out and taste at our little tasting room here at our new Startups cellar. We're open currently from 9 to 5 during the week.
The colorful St. Ambrose logo, which they call the Bee Goddess, has a historic origin.
She's a pretty unique version of the patron saint of the beekeeper. She takes care of all the beekeepers across the world.
Drink mead, it's good.
Check the local wine shops, party stores, and even supermarket shelves for this honey of an adult treat. A simple product of Mother Nature, courtesy of the Hive.
You're watching TVC, Travers Visitors Channel.
Featuring over 200 diverse species of our fine-feathered friends.
Michael Sinsick loves creating scenic watercolors, and he truly possesses an artist's sensitivity because he paints not by sight, but with a colorful memory and a delicate touch. You see, Mike cannot see. He became legally blind at the young age of 13 when he was diagnosed with a brain tumor.
I've gotten accused of faking it, especially when they see my eyes moving and then they see my artwork and they're like, blind guy can't do that.
As a teenager, Mike loved to draw cartoons, but after a life-saving operation, he embraced watercolors.
I had wanted to do some art for therapy, and I thought watercolors would be something I could feel, you know, the wetness of the paper and drying, and so I just kind of started playing around with it and started liking and enjoying doing it, and kind of started creating my own techniques from there.
And with the help of family and friends, matured into an accomplished artist now represented in over 30 galleries in the U.S. and Canada. Closer to home, Mike was commissioned to create an original for legendary Red Wings captain Steve Yzerman and was featured on the cover of the State of the Great Lakes annual report. But how does he do it? First, Mike uses a variety of items to define and mask off areas that he then colors. Once dried, the paint provides a texture that he can feel and work around to create the scene in his head.
I mainly paint my inspirations from scenes that I remember from when I was younger. Some are scenes that have just moved me, and the feeling of being right there
In addition to watercolors, Mike also enjoys a go-around on the potter's wheel.
Some friends were telling me that I would enjoy doing sculpting and the tactual part of feeling, and so I got into doing that, and I love it.
In the fall of 2000, he established his company, Michael's Unique Visions. A local yokel, Mike lives in nearby Williamsburg and displays his work at many area locations. He also provides his art insights and discusses his personal accomplishments.
I share my artwork and my story. I think it's important for kids to experience art and maybe use that as their outlet of something that makes them feel good.
In addition to giclée prints, affordable note cards, and even magnets are available locally, all featuring Mike Sinsik's special touch.
Considered among the rarest and most expensive wines in the world.
Experience the great outdoors and embrace Mother Nature by exploring our area's many incredible natural preserves, open to the public year-round, free of charge. Many of these inspirational retreats feature protected, managed marked trails that offer adventure, exercise, and escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Learn details on these natural wonderlands at the Conservancy's websites for the best spots to hike, bike, birdwatch, canoe or kayak, cross-country ski or snowshoe, swim, fish, or even hunt. Both of our local groups, the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy and the Leelanau Conservancy, schedule guided special events in all seasons showcasing the unique features, flora, and fauna of these places, many of which have been donated to preserve our forest, farmlands, dunes, and other natural landscapes far into the future for family, friends, and you, our welcome visitors.
Hello, Jimmy Johns?
Jimmy John's here.
What took you so long?
Jimmy John, freaky fast delivery.
I love a man in uniform.
You're watching Travers Visitors Channel.
A popular pursuit here in the great natural retreat we call the Grand Traverse region is birdwatching, featuring over 200 diverse species of our fine-feathered friends, from colorful finches to nocturnal noisemakers and our national symbol. Some are rarer than others, while others are outright endangered.
Let us look at them as long as we want it. That was just the most exciting thing. The short-eared owl is a Michigan threatened species, or Michigan endangered species, I guess. And to have it land on our property and use our property to hunt was just very exciting.
our area offers a wide variety of habitats and ecosystems to explore.
Particularly, there's some great spots for birding that are open to the public for you to enjoy. One spot in Benzie County is the Upper Herring Lake Preserve, which features a beautiful wetland area and a boardwalk, ponds, and just a diversity of birds, particularly those that enjoy wetlands. The Georgianata Refuge Preserve right here in Traverse City off 3 Mile Road, just on the back side of the Tark Trail behind Traverse City State Park, is an excellent spot close to town to hike the trail and see a number of bird species, warblers and goldfinches, you name it, they're out there in the forest. And finally, the Skigmog Wildlife Area over between Kalkaska and Antrim County is a terrific spot with 7 miles of shoreline. Bald eagles roosting, loons can be heard off in the distance, and a great boardwalk and platform to view wildlife.
Lots of other birds that we can see here, not always common. The least bittern is one that I know excites lots of other birders that you can actually see them, find them if you work hard at it here in Northwest Michigan. Great spot. We get to hear sandhill cranes flying. We had many different times during the warm season, but especially the spring and the fall migration. Lots of raptors, lots of hawks migrating up the shoreline in the spring. We get more in the fall, but the spring migration's the really big time. So a great opportunity and lots of things. We've got a birding festival in Leelanau County every spring, May into June. We have a year-round birding trail, the Sleeping Bear Birding Trail, sleepingbearbirdingtrail.org, in fact. And it's a year-round itinerary of 35 recommended birding locations all along M22, which is a state highway, a heritage route, 123 miles long from Manistee to Traverse City, and a fantastic place for birding in all kinds of locales. For specific details on all of the different kinds of birds, the species that you can see in this area, I think a really good source is the brand new website, www.sleepingbearbirdingtrail.org. With an incredible diversity of avian habitat and species, the Grand Traverse region is the place to be for those with a passion for the great outdoors and an appreciation of our many fine-feathered friends.
Stay tuned to Traverse Visitors Channel.
Considered among the rarest and most expensive wines in the world, called the nectar of the gods, liquid assets, or more commonly, liquid gold, is ice wine, a very limited and highly prized product of our Grand Traverse area wineries. A German style, impossible to produce in the California climate, ice wines are the latest of the late harvests, made from naturally frozen or marbleized grapes, immediately pressed and carefully fermented.
You get a third of the yield, tonnage per acre. What we have usually, we pick now 1 ton, we will get approximately 2 to 2.5 tons out of 1.5 acres. As soon as you come inside a building, it's warmer than outside, and this thawing process starts. So you have to press before the thawing process starts in order to get the concentrated juice. You know, when this thawing process starts, you have water crystals changing into ice crystals changing into water, and then you have a diluting effect already.
More often than not, it's a losing gamble by winemakers who lose tons of grapes to high winds, birds, and rot as they anxiously await the Arctic Express.
The temperature determines when you pick an ice wine. Depending on the sugar content of the grapes that you're using for ice wine, you need temperatures anywhere from 18 to 22 degrees. Some years, like in 1995, we even needed temperatures below 18 because there was so much sugar in solution that it took colder temperatures than that to freeze the grapes. And that's what we're looking for, is frozen grapes.
Valued at over $100 a bottle, ice wine is sold in half bottles, with both the market value and the complexity of the wine increasing over time. Among the world's sweetest and most delicious fermented fare, no two ice wines ever taste the same, with the unique flavors always analogized to the most succulent fruits.
Exotic fruit, fresh fruit flavors, like more than pineapple, grapefruit side, fig, a little bit of grape also in it. So nice fresh flavors, really thick, really rich bodied.
Available in extremely limited quantities, locally produced ice wine is, or was, just available, as with many of our unique Northern Michigan natural wonders. The liquid gold called ice wine is a rare and unusual find.
The press juice is a concentrate that is the true essence of the grape.
Hello, Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's here.
What took you so long?
Jimmy John, freaky fast delivery.
I love a man in uniform.
At the History Center of Traverse City this summer through Labor Day weekend, one of America's iconic toys is on display. Unbelievable renderings of some of this country's most recognizable structures, such as the Statue of Liberty and the White House. And from this state, visitors will recognize the Mackinac Bridge and Traverse City's State Hospital. Everything made of Legos, with a decided wow factor.
When folks walk through the door and they see Lady Liberty and the 15-foot Detroit One Center, there's just an awe, a wow effect, if you will.
This exhibit is for the whole family, right down to building your own Lego creation.
We all grew up with Lego, and we all still appreciate it. It's an art form that we can work with. And the parents and grandparents are working with the kids building cars and models, and then on the table back there they all get to show their works of art.
The Building Blocks of America shows off the incredible work of Dan Parker, a nationally known Lego artist who just so happens to be one of the few Lego masters.
Yeah, Dan Parker, the Lego master from Seattle, he's known for his detail. A lot of Lego artists are doing computer modeling, and some of the micro detail on some of Dan's sculptures are really impressive.
Everything is Lego and nothing but Lego, and that translates into a lot of Legos. The Building Blocks of America at the History Center of Traverse City, now through Labor Day, every day of the week.
Watch Traverse Visitors Channel on Charter Main Street at 8 a.m. and at 8 p.m.